I'm Margaret. Today we're talking about Factor. Factor is a lightweight tool that is smart and flexible. There are dozens of core facts that are built in with the ability to make it as flexible as you need with custom and external facts. Factor enables dynamic and intelligent configurations, helping you automate, scale, and standardize across your infrastructure. Over to you, Tony.
Thanks, Margaret. Yeah, my name's Tony Green, and today I'm here to talk to you about facts. Just the facts, nothing but the facts. Factor has been a part of Puppet since its inception, and it is an incredibly useful, but often either overlooked or misunderstood tool. Factor's real strength is being able to help you write code that is easy to understand and doesn't need a whole bunch of conditional statements depending on the operating system you're using. What does that mean? Well, if I look in my Puppet console and just pick any node, I have an Alma node here that I'm going to pull up. The first thing I see is a list of the facts on the server. Now these facts are generated either by Puppet itself with the core facts that we have. They can be custom facts that you can generate yourself, or they may come out of modules that you've installed. The facts are consumable by the agent and by the Puppet server in a variety of different ways. So if we scroll down and have a look at some of the things that we can see in here, a good example is disks. So irrespective of the operating system or the hardware, we will show you a fact called disks with the disk name and the size in bytes, what type it is, the vendor, in the same format. It doesn't matter whether you're running new versions or old versions of an operating system, whether you're running different types of operating system, whether you're running virtualization or old tin in a data center. This information will be available in the same way. The most common example of this is to look at OS. Now, I've been a system administrator for a long time, and I still forget how to find out the individual versions of Red Hat or Debian or Ubuntu or Windows in a way that I can do repeatedly, which files I need to check, what code names those map to. Using the OS fact, I can see very clearly my operating system distro is Cerulean Leopard. It gives me the description, but then it also gives me the release and the family. So I can see that this is effectively a Red Hat 8 or a Red Hat 810 family of machine. Now, if I need to know the name of itself, it's Alma. And what does this look like from the command line? So I can run factor -p OS, and it gives me all of the information that I can see there. I can also say factor -p OS dot family, and it will just return the single value. This becomes really, really useful because as you start writing code that's going to work on different operating systems or in different environments, you may need to put controls in place that say this will only work on Debian, this will only work on Windows, this may only work on virtualization. Having factor there and being able to be used to report on this in a standard format means that your code become a lot more simple. If I look, for example, at Puppet code that I've been using, say for example in my Hiera file, I'm using facts within Hiera. And if you're not familiar with Hiera, we've got another session that will cover Hiera, but it's effectively our configuration database. I can see here that I'm pulling in OS name and OS release major to be able to tune things. Within my Puppet code itself, if I go into my my SOE directory and just take a look at some of my files, I can just do a simple grep for fact, and I can see all the different places that I've been pulling it in. So for example, if I look at my SOE directory permissions, I can see here I'm looking at what is my kernel. If it's Linux, do this. Otherwise, don't do anything. So it gives a very easy flow. I'm not checking 20 different locations or 20 different files for what I can get out of a single place. The other beautiful thing about Factor is it's automatically updated by Puppet. So every time Puppet runs, it collects its facts, and those facts are then centrally stored on your Puppet server, which means when you're doing work in the console, you can actually filter by fact value. So here I can say, just show me anything where, for example, kernel equals Linux. There we go, kernel equals Linux. So it will show me 15 nodes. So that gives a very clear view, in the same way that you can use this when you're running tasks or plans, or where you're doing code that relies on customization. Factor is a very, very useful tool to be able to control the flow and to make your coding life so much easier. In the next section, in the next video, we're going to cover a combination of both trusted facts and external or custom facts. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you tune in for the next video. Thank you very much.